Hello, my name's Mike, and today I'm going to be putting together a budget PC build for one of my buddies who's been gaming on a laptop from about 2011, and back then it was a pretty beastly laptop. It was one of the Asus ones that looked like one of those stealth like fighter jets, but I mean it was like a GTX 560 mobile in it or something. It doesn't cut it today. It can't push out frames in any games he wants to play, especially Rust. Rust is by far his favorite game, and he had to stop playing it back a few months ago because his laptop just couldn't handle it. It was pushing anywhere from like 5 frames a second to crashing. So the way this is all going to work is one of our other buddies is going down to hang out with him for the weekend in another week and a half here. We thought we'd surprise him with a new budget computer that would be able to handle playing, especially Rust. Want to make sure that's good for him, but just any modern games or any esports titles or anything like that that he'd be interested in playing over the next couple of years, and also something with a solid upgrade path. Let's start by going through the specs, just giving a rundown of everything we got, talk about how it'll perform a little bit, the price, everything from here on out. Let's get right into it. So to start out, I wanted to make sure that we got him going on a solid platform with a good upgrade path when it came to CPU. And AMD right now is really where it's at with the AM4 platform, Gen 1 through 4 all being the same socket promised right up front. That's hard to beat. So we went with a Ryzen 2600. It's really good bang for the buck. 6 cores, 12 threads, great for games, great for streaming, and great for productivity, anything you want to do. I feel like in most videos, people wouldn't usually talk about the GPU second. You want to leave that till later in the video. It's a little more exciting. But I want to talk about it right up front because that's what made this all possible. I was able to snag this right here. It's a GTX 1060 6GB. Has a pretty cool orange and black shroud on it, but I was able to get it used for $80 when a buddy of mine was upgrading. And I just thought that was a great starting point, a great jumping off point to get this whole project rolling. And I want to also make this computer look pretty nice. So that leads me to the next part and why I wanted to talk about the GPU now. Because I had such a great deal on that. It has that really nice orange and black color scheme. So I figured, let's keep that color scheme going. So I went with a Gigabyte Aorus B450M motherboard. Has a great black and orange scheme to it. It's got great power delivery for the future, for upgradability. It's got an M.2 slot. It's got 4 DIMMs for RAM. It's got great I/O. Really, everything he could need. He doesn't have to worry about upgrading this part at all. It's going to be perfect for the future. So for the RAM, I got him a 16GB kit of Team Group. It's 2 sticks, 8GB, running at 3000 megahertz with a cast latency of 16. Now these are pretty good specs. It's a great RAM kit. I actually had this one left over from a build around Christmas time, so I had a great deal on this. It was like $49.99 back around the holidays. Same thing going into storage. The SSD I have is a 1TB SanDisk SSD. It's a 2.5-inch drive. You know, just having solid state storage in there, it's really going to be one less thing for him to worry about, and it gives him that extra speed. Powering the whole system, I was lucky enough to find a great deal on an EVGA power supply. It was $44.99 the other day over on Amazon, and it's a 500 watt bronze unit. It's non-modular. I mean, you wouldn't expect that at this price anyway, but the cables are nice black sleeved cables, so it's gonna look good. It's reliable. I've never had an issue with EVGA. It was a perfect find for this budget. So the case we're putting this all in had some great reviews on Amazon and Newegg, and I thought it was just really good looking for the price. So I ended up going with the DLM21 from Dark Flash. This case has a lot of features. I mean, right up front, first thing you get out of the box, you notice that tempered glass side panel, and it swings open. It's a magnetic close, swings open on hinges, and then it can be lifted right off. I opted for the case with the mesh front panel to really optimize that airflow, and because we also went with some Dark Flash RGB fans and RGB strips to add into it, you'll be able to see those really well through that mesh. It'll give it a really cool appearance, as well as pulling way more air through to keep everything cool and quiet. Also, as a little add-on bonus, just because I don't know how their house is set up right now, how far he is from the router, in case it'll be a bit until he can maybe, get a good internet situation in their new house, I did opt to add in just a little wireless dongle that just plugs in the USB port to give him some decent Wi-Fi. It's more of a case-by-case thing, so not everyone needs to worry about one of these. I guess with all that said, let's get right into the build. And so here it is. Right now we're just putting some games on it. Just the main games he would probably want to play this weekend. That way when the PC gets to him, it's all ready to go. So I just wanted to kind of break down everything by price, kind of the deals I got, but also if you wanted to kind of do the similar build, the deals you should look for that you can get new today, or used deals you should look for. First up, the processor. Now I said we went with the Ryzen 2600. I was able to get that for $118.99. If you were building the same thing today, I would say go look over on Amazon for the Ryzen 5 1600 AF. Came out about mid-January, and it's really the same exact processor, just a slightly lower clock. It's really a Ryzen 2000 series chip that just is a lower binned chip. They rebranded their 1600 and for only $85. I mean, you save like $35. Sadly, they were out of stock when I went to order this. They're back in now. I would say definitely look for that. Second, I already went over in the beginning the GPU, and I got that for a sick deal, about $80. That's gonna be tough to find. I mean, you can really scour eBay, Craigslist, maybe get lucky. But I would say if you're looking for something new right out the gate, look for an RX 570. You can get some pretty good deals over on Newegg right now still, while they're still in stock. They're usually right around that $100 to $110 price range, and a lot of times they come with Xbox Game Pass and or a couple games. So it's a really good deal. Similar performance to this, maybe just a little bit lower, but for that price, with what you get with it, it's hard to beat. So for the RAM, I paid $50 back around the holidays for 16 gigabytes, 3000 megahertz cast latency 16. You're not going to be able to find that price right now. The RAM prices have gone back up just a little bit since the holidays. If you really deal hunt, you should be able to get the same kit or a similar kit for $60 to $65 new on Newegg or Amazon. So it's really not that much more, about $10 more. For the SSD, it was the same thing. I got it back around the holidays. Great deal, $80 for 1 terabyte SATA SSD. That you can still find. I actually saw a deal this morning for an SSD for $83.99, 1 terabyte on Amazon. Those deals are still popping up. Now the motherboard. The motherboard I got for $80. That was based a little bit on I'm trying to match it to the GPU, get something that looks a little cleaner and nicer. You can get motherboards that do just as well as this one, have decent power delivery, same form factor, for roughly $60 to $70. Save, an extra $10 overall, and it'll perform exactly the same. That's something I would look for unless aesthetics really mean a lot to you. But if you can save $10 here and put it towards something else in the build, I would say go for it. For power supplies, it's a little tough. You've really got to deal hunt with these, and you want to go with a brand that's relatively trusted. Someone like EVGA, Corsair, maybe Cooler Master. If you get lucky, you can usually find a deal on a power supply. You might have to wait around a couple weeks. They're not always happening. But EVGA, about once a month, runs some decent deals on their power supplies, and I was able to get an EVGA 500 watt bronze rated power supply for $45. This is a really good deal. I'd say look for something similar. It's perfect for a build of this level. It gives you a little bit of room for upgradability. Lastly, the case. Now the case was about $55 as well. That's a pretty solid price to look for a case. You can get something anywhere from like $30 up to $500, depending on what you're looking for. This is probably the most aesthetic part of the build, the part that a lot of time people care about, really going for what they want. So that's my suggestion. If you're okay with a $30 case, it meets your needs and it has decent airflow to keep all your components cool, I would say just go for that. But if you want to spice things up a little bit, you can find some extra money in your budget here or there. Go with, a $60 case, and you're not going to be upset. I know $60, $70 range, you can get some really nice cases, even the $50 range, like this one here. I really liked it for the most part. There were a couple little things here or there that you can tell it's like, they might have cut a corner. But I would say 99% of this case for $55 it was a steal. Now with those things included, it came out to about $510. And for a build of this caliber, that's a really good deal. Something like this new in store would probably go for about $650 to $700. So I'm really happy with that price. So now, the alternative parts I was referencing as we went through the prices and their price points. if we were able to put something together with everything I referenced there, it would actually come out to about the same price, right about $500. And it would be completely new parts, top to bottom. You could have a PC at this caliber running 1080p, medium to high settings game, esports titles. This is really gonna crush. Majority of them, it's gonna hit that 144 FPS mark, no problem. So this is a really killer system, especially this with the 1066 gigabyte in it. I mean, that's great. If you do go with the 570, like I said, it's not going to be quite the same performance. It's still going to be a really killer system. And again, going with Ryzen, you have a great upgrade path. You could upgrade to, say, the 3600, and that processor absolutely kills in modern titles. It can be paired with up to like a 2080 and have no problem. You won't have any bottlenecks. This system is just a great starter system with a great upgrade path. And I know Matt's gonna love it. So, well, I was hoping to put some footage of my friend reacting to his new PC and playing on it and everything right here. Sadly, they didn't get any footage of that when the PC was taken down by my other buddy, so we don't really have anything to show for the conclusion of his PC. The good news is the reason they didn't get it is because they were playing games all weekend and having a great time, so I guess that's a good review of it. I mean, he loves it, he's still playing on it, and it's been good for him for the last month and a half. As you can tell and probably understand with the whole COVID thing going on, got a little bit of a mess on my head, a little beard going, but yeah, besides that, you might be able to also tell the setup around me has changed. My girlfriend and I bought a house and we've been moving the last couple weekends, and it's just really exciting. Gonna have a lot going on here with my setup, my workspace, this game room. Gonna have a new like TV, couch area over there. The couch comes in a couple days. Gonna completely be redoing my desk setup. Got my new computer build that I'm gonna be showing off to everyone, as well as my build that I have here now that I've been using to edit this. It's actually in a small form factor PC. I'll show that off at some point too. That's gonna go in the home theater space. It's also my mobile LAN build. But yeah, a lot of plans for showing off a bunch of that stuff. Excited to make some more content for this channel and just have fun with it and really document all the changes that are gonna be going on. So thanks for watching.